So, hey, Mark, I've got this theory that there's kind of this hidden force that makes you use the same gear over and over and over again.
Yeah, I don't know if I would call it a force. I might call it an addiction.
Okay, you call it an addiction. I have this scientific secret force that I want to talk about today.
Well, let's talk. No, today, what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about like what is our favorite gear that we use, and not like a gear review. Just like we started looking at this. Started what about a month and a half ago? I had all the pictures that I had in my portfolio in a file.
Yep.
Because I was doing something. I was working on a little book project. And I just in bridge said, show me what lens was used, because in my mind, I was going to say, this is the lens that I shoot all my favorite pictures in. And it shocked me what actually I use the most.
Shocking.
Yeah, no. So then we got that whole discussion of, so what's the least we need, or what is it that you and I use to create images that we love?
Yep. And it's a question that we're getting. It seems like in the last month and a half, I don't know if it's because it's Christmas time coming up or whatever, but people are like, okay, what's your favorite gear? What do
you recommend for this? What do you recommend for the lens? What do you recommend?
So you did that. You went through, like you said, you went through Adobe Bridge where you can see what, do a picture count of what camera and what lenses you used, what kind of gear you're using on that shot. So what did it come up with? What was your...
Yeah. So here's what's funny. So if you would have asked me like 2 months ago, hey, Mark, your favorite pictures of all time that you've ever taken, what is it on? And guess what I would have done? I would have reached and I would have said, right here, my 85 1.2, the holy grail of my lenses, right? 100%, I'd go, this is it. But what I found was the majority by far, we're talking like 36 images we're taking with this lens, and only like 6 we're taking with that 85. And it's
you only took 42 pictures this year?
No, not this year. Just my favorites.
Oh, your favorites. Okay.
And I felt portfolio.
I was getting a little worried, thinking, wait, I'm doing all the work then.
Actually, over like 3 years. So, but my 24-70, 2.8. I've always said this is my workhorse lens.
Yeah.
And guess what? I come to find out my favorite photos were overwhelmingly like 40% of them or more were taken with this lens.
Well, I know I've done the same task that you did, right, to figure it out. And this year, actually, it's since I got my 85, it's over 90%.
Yeah. Your joke is it never comes off my camera.
It doesn't. So, but what's funny is what's sitting right next to me right now is my Nikon Z8.
Okay.
Guess what's on it?
That's not
24-70. Well, that's pretty funny. It's got that lens on it. Because
24-70.
If someone were to ask me, right, like what's a great lens to start out with that you can do anything you needed to do?
Well, if you're under 30, you're probably going to say you need a 35.
Yeah.
1.2, 1.4, 1.8, but 35 seems to be what all the kids are using now.
But for you and me, right? And so we do all kinds of stuff. We do portrait work, corporate work, headshot work, school portrait work, weddings, right? That's like the 5 different big categories that we...
I think back of the old days of Zach Arias. He always had this phrase, I'll do anything but porn. That's what he used to say. Like, we just kind of shoot it all.
Which is true. Like that's the same way. But like if you were to get one lens that does it all, it is the 24-70 2.8.
Mm-hmm.
And I know like for Canon right now, they have the and actually Sony too. They've got an f2 28,
which blows that away. Yeah, that one. What 28 to 120 something?
Well, they got the 28-70 f2.
Okay.
And so like that one, ours is 24-70 2.8. But what I've shot with that lens, the 28, and believe it or not, that 3 millimeters makes a huge difference.
It does. Yeah.
Right.
But that's an amazing lens.
Or 4 millimeters, I should say.
Yeah.
But it's like I still want to go wide. But all that to be said, if you were to ask me, Mister, what lens would you want to shoot with for the rest of your life if you could only have one lens on your camera? It is the trusty 85 1.2.
Yeah, I would agree. Today, when it comes to portrait photography,
Yep.
that is the lens. Like,
Just, I mean, look at it and smell it. It's 1.2. Goodness. It's just spectacular.
it's
So
a beast. For that
the
thing.
problem is they're really expensive.
Yeah.
But if you have the resources, I truly, and we joke about this. Like I keep saying that lens is stuck on my camera. And I've said that in front of, like our workshop clients. Say, oh no, I got a big problem. They're like, what? Like my lens is stuck. Oh man, can you get it off? I said, no.
Yeah.
Because I just can't. I can't.
And,
I can't
and it's
bear
not
to
just that lens, man. It doesn't matter if it's the Canon, it's the, Sigma has the 1.4 art lens. I shot that for years. That was my favorite lens too. That's why I thought when I did that at 85, that was going to come up. No, like I said, like 8 pictures with the 85 1.2. I had like 12 pictures with the 85 1.4, which was the Sigma from years gone by. I even had some of that were the 85 1.8, which when we switched over to the Z style camera, that's what was available at the time before the 1.2s came out. And you and I both were shooting that 1.8, and it was phenomenal. So don't sit there and go, oh, there's just two guys talking about, a $3,000 lens that everybody should buy. No. That focal length, and there's so many options. Viltrox now has
I was gonna say, like
1.4.
1.4 for like under $600.
Yeah. Brand new for under 600. So it's not about the brand. It's not about there's magic that happens at that 85 focal range.
Mm-hmm.
And is there a difference between the 1.8 and the 1.2? Yes.
Yep.
But will your clients see the difference? Probably not.
No.
Will you see it? Oh, you betcha. And it there's an excitement that grows in your photography when you can achieve, that extra little bit. But man, do yourself a favor. And and here we have it in our workshops. People come all the time and go, yeah, I own an 85. I just never use it. And use it. You know why?
You know what I say? What?
Yeah. I think what happens is so many people, there's nothing wrong with this at all. They love just shooting. So do we, right? Just the act of going out and taking portraits.
Yep.
And so they're not really professionals. They do occasionally some things, but they love going to workshops. And then people go, well, why are you going to workshop if you're not a professional? Well, why do you go golfing if you're not a professional golfer? Because you enjoy doing it, right? And the same thing with these people. And in a workshop environment, an 85 is hard to shoot with multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got nobody shooting with me, I can do anything with that 85. I can get back 30 feet and go, nobody's in my way.
Yep.
Where in a workshop.
So taking a step back though to, what you found you shot most of your favorite pictures in the last year with is like the 24-70, like you have to have one in your bag. Because all the new 24-70s, like the Nikon, and they even have version 2. This is the mirrorless version, but they've got a newer mirrorless version of this thing. That Canon equipment, the Sony equipment, Fuji, anybody that has a 24-70 or a 24-70 equivalent lens, like so stinking sharp. Like you are not losing anything from using that zoom, and 2.8. How many years did we get away shooting that? And it was absolutely fine. It's still fine. Yeah.
Yeah. For years, I couldn't afford it. And so I was shooting a Tamron 28-75 2.8.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? I still have pictures in my portfolio that were shot with that lens.
Yep.
So don't get like peer pressured into you have to have the expensive lens. Shoot what you can afford.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to up your game, find an 85 that you can afford, because again, there's a lot of them out there that are obtainable,
and they're good.
I would avoid the ones that have the manual focus that are that cheap, because you're just not going to get at 1.4 or 1.2 a sharp photo manually focusing more than likely. So, and those lenses again are never very sharp. So let's move from lenses, right?
Okay.
Let's go with lighting.
Okay.
So
what is
down? Yours 85. I will say hands down. Pull it out here. You ready? The good old trusty FJ 400 Westcott. Prior to this, It used to be the Interfit S1. They
Yep.
don't make those anymore. But
Nope.
so
So
I've had this now for what, 4 years, and it is again, this is my workhorse. I've got a few of them, but this is the workhorse light.
Yep.
You come out to the workshop, you'll see all the scratches on it because of all the times it's blown over at workshops because I
Okay,
didn't
it's
put
so
a sandbag on it. Shame on me. But yeah, that light. Why I say the 400 because to me it's the right size, right? You and I have this argument all the time about like, why don't you just use a speed light all the time if you can do the same thing with a speed light? And I always say, because then I got to put a bracket on there to get the mount of the modifier that we'll talk about in a minute. And I'm like, by the time I have all these pieces together, it's just much easier. Just carry a 400 and stick it on there and make it work. And it doesn't matter if it gets too bright or too dark. I can make the 400 do whatever I want it to do. So, how about you?
Well, mine is very similar to yours, but a little different, right? So like this would be mine. Ta-da!
It's the
Okay.
same light.
No, this is the
two,
right? And here's the cool things about this. Like, let me fire it up here. There we go.
And you have a 2 as well, and that is what I use now.
So here's why I like the upgraded version. The 400, there's no difference in the light that comes out of the 400 and the 402. It's the same, right? You're going to get the same quality of light. But the pricing on this guy is virtually the same as the 400. You can still buy 400s.
Yeah. But
here's what's cool. Like this thing is completely touchscreen compatible, right? So you can run all the menus and everything right on the screen.
I can touch my screen.
Uh-huh. You
Doesn't
can
do
touch it.
anything.
Yeah, it's compatible for your finger, but it just doesn't do anything. But like, I can move these. Look at this. I can even swipe and move numbers and up and down using my finger. So pretty cool. I do like that the display is nice and big.
Yeah.
I have noticed.
I like the white on black. That's the big change for me. Yeah. I can see it from a distance. And right as we get older, our eyes get bad. We're both wearing glasses. I can see it.
So I'm gonna give a negative though.
Okay.
I know people are gonna say, "What, you should be praising this light." The battery indicator is now on the battery on the side, right? So I like
yes, I would agree.
The display. So I want to see on the 400 when your battery was running low, it went from green, yellow to red. Right? And when it turned red, you probably have 10 more shots and then you're toast. This one, it just goes.
And my trigger would tell me that
4, 3, 2, 1, but it doesn't. It doesn't tell me when it's just about ready to die. So that would be my only drawback from this. But I found that the light of this, even though I said the lighting is the same, this one is very, very consistent at shooting every time. There's no misfires, right? It's the bomb diddly.
Yeah.
So
and here's what's funny. So I know people will go, well, that's why I'm not switching because mine has the indicator. Like, okay, here's what we're talking about. The battery dies and you go, oh, my battery died. And you put another battery on and you start shooting again. Even if it had the indicator, that's exactly what you do. So it's it's not really a problem. It's just, we're lazy.
But it's so hard.
And I love it to be able to go, well, I'm getting down to the end. I better make these shots count because I don't want to walk back to the car because I forgot to bring the second battery. And so just, it isn't a negative, but
no. The other cool thing here, and it's not
and they're still on sale. If you go there right now, the website's got them on sale. It's ending, but
today is actually, I think, the
final day of
their Cyber sale. So
Monday-ish.
If you are looking for a light, this is not a sales pitch here, but if you're looking for a light, these are the lights that we use non-stop. Like every single day that we're shooting, it's FJ402s.
And our workshops will tell you how bulletproof they are.
They are, because
if you come like, you got like 10 to 12 people all firing that light.
Yep.
And, firing our lights, and they get dropped and they get banged around and they get hung over cliffs and they get falling into lakes and all kinds of things to get those shots for everybody. Mm-hmm. And so the testament is I got one sitting next to me that's 4 years old that I still use all the time.
Yeah.
So here's the other reason. If you've got old lights like we do, and then you go like, okay, so if you use multiple lights and you're going, oh, now I use the FJ 402. What is the reason to upgrade? One of the reasons I always tell everybody to upgrade is the fact that the technology, right? We keep getting new camera bodies. Right now, we don't shoot Sony, but Sony just came out with their A7, 5.
Yep.
So guess what? There's going to be a point where the old FJ 400s, Westcott's going to go, yeah, we can't keep supporting the 5 the A7 6 that's going to come out in another 3 months because it's Sony. They're going to come out with a new camera every quarter. And they're like, yeah, we can't keep up with it to now do the 2s and the 400s and the this and the that. So at some point they go, okay, this light, we're going to stop.
And that's probably,
and that's not just Westcott, that's every brand.
Everybody. It's like a computer, right?
Yeah.
Or your cell phone.
They get obsolete after a while.
Yeah, not support.
And so there's features I want to use because that technology is aiding in, doesn't make better pictures, but it sure makes it more pleasant. It makes consistency better. Yeah.
I think, one of the reasons why, like we, being Westcott Top Pros, one of the reasons why we decided to actually accept the invitation to become a top pro for Westcott was we were using their lights and they just worked, right? We had used a bunch of other brands in the meantime from our Interfit days.
Yeah.
Didn't
and what
work
happened when Interfit went under, they were closing. They told us, we were still pros at the time. They're like, guys, we're not going to be supporting the software anymore. Mm-hmm. And you and I, that's right. When we went to the Z's, we're just like, okay, how do I fire this with my, at that point it was like a Z6 II or something I got. And it was like, it doesn't work.
Yep.
It would fire it, but it wouldn't do all the other stuff. It wouldn't do the TTL. It wouldn't do, high speed sync without pushing.
There's a lot of, I wouldn't say there's a lot of good lighting gear out there because there's not a lot of lighting gear, right? The companies are really shifting down to only a few. There's the big company that starts with a G, right? That we have tons of people that we know that use that and made big investments into that lighting. But
and they make great photos.
It's the light is light. It works great. But the one thing that I've noticed is that just the Westcott gear fires every time. The menus are easy to use.
Yeah.
And it just works, right? Battery power, not an issue with the Westcott gear. Some of the other stuff out there, there's more trouble. Not saying it's bad. There's nothing bad at all. But for us, right, this whole thing is what's our favorite gear? Why do we keep using the same gear? It's because it works, right? And that is like going back to what is that hidden force, or what's your addiction that keeps you using the same gear? It's because the stuff works so well. When I use my 85, I don't have to think as hard as I do when I use my 24-70 because I can set it and magic happens. How many times do we say to each other, oh, this lens is magical, right? Yeah. I can take a great shot, fantastic shot with my 24-70. But I have to work. I have to work harder. Not that that's a bad thing. Yeah. But this lens is magical. Same thing with the light. I don't have to think as hard because I know color temperature is consistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got to flash every time.
I think even recently, just a couple of weeks ago, I was watching one of the YouTubers I really like is that Omar Gonzalez.
Uh-huh.
And he said that exact phrase. I think I even told you. I was like, guess what he said today? He was like 85. And he pulled it and he's like, it just is magical.
Yep.
And it was like, wow, he gets it.
Okay, so what do you put on your light?
Yes. Okay, so modifier-wise, again, it's so funny. Just like you said, this last year, 85 is what you're using.
You put an 85 on your light?
Yeah, no. So up until, I would say...
It was March.
Yeah. I would have said it is the Westcott Octa Medium, which is a 36-inch softbox. So, it's not the large. It's big though.
Yep.
It makes beautiful soft light. I do love the large, but most everything I shoot is outdoors and any breeze. I can't.
The wind loves the large too.
It loves this, but the large especially doesn't love. And a lot of times I just don't have anybody to hold it for me.
for sure.
And so the max has always been kind of, and my medium softbox is so beat up from use. But I will say now, if you're to ask me what is my go-to,
Mark, what's your go-to softbox?
is right here, 24-inch Joel Grimes dish by Westcott.
Which I cannot believe I'm hearing this.
Exactly.
Because, well, I know it for a fact, but I just can't believe you're actually getting this out in the public.
And I put these up because I knew you were going to ask me, so I'm like, okay, here's the difference in size. But if I move this a little bit closer, ooh, that's a good way to
They're the exact same size. Look at that.
relative. They're the same size, but when I match them up,
Wow, what hey, that is a great demonstration that I've never actually seen before.
Me neither. Pull it back. Yep.
That's incredible. Yes.
And it's only, it's 2 feet closer.
Yep.
So, but yes, that 24-inch, I would never have believed it, right? I'd have said, because I have a small softbox, the Westcott Octa Small.
Yep.
24-inch. I don't dislike it, but to me, it's like, oh, that's that light that goes on my FJ200 when I'm just going to do a little headshot here or something really quick. Or I'm too lazy to carry the 400 because I think it's too heavy, or that kind of stuff. But this box, you got one first.
Yep.
We did a workshop, and then after the workshop, you're like, I don't want to bring this out because I didn't want to make it capitalize the workshop. And you're like, let's go play with this. Our friend Naomi was our model that day, and you're like, let's go to the bridge now that everybody's gone. And let's shoot with Naomi. Let me show you how cool this box is. I'm like, okay. Bright sunlight right up on that golden bridge in Sacramento at Old Town.
Yep.
I get on that bridge and you're like, just shoot it.
Just shoot it.
I'm like, okay. And I fired it and I'm just like, wait, this is as good as the medium, like as far as how it fell on her. And I'm like, how did I get that much light out of it? Because that's the other part people don't think about.
Mhm.
The smaller the softbox, you're getting the same amount of light out of it, but you're getting more light out of it because you're focusing it on the same amount of light. The wider it is, the more it spreads out. So you start losing. And that's why that argument, I've said before, of when do you need an FJ 800? You just need one for lots of reasons. But two of the main reasons is if you love large modifiers like I do, like a big 7-foot, I have a giant 7-foot Octabox. We used, remember I brought it out for that Africa safari shoot we did. And that thing's gorgeous, but it takes so much light to fill that giant softbox to get the same exposure on a person.
Yep.
The quality is incredible, but that less power. But man, I just talked myself into a circle, but you get more light. That's all I'll say is that's all you have to know. Then don't worry about the science behind it. Just you get more because it's focused.
You get more because it's better, more better.
It's more better. So
this is music to my ears because how many years have we known each other? 20 years. And my old favorite box, right, was an Interfit click type box. That was a 24-inch beauty dish that I loved, but the thing finally fell apart and I couldn't get any more of them. And so when I got this 24-inch Westcott Rapid Box, the Joel Grimes 24-inch Rapid Box beauty dish, it's like coming back home again. I love this box. My other favorite box is the Manny Ortiz by Westcott 36-inch beauty dish. I just love that look. And so this allows me, and the difference, man, is very close between them. Like you were just saying, but I just learned how to use the 24-inch differently. I move it closer. And so by doing that, it is so nice because it's so portable, right? Hold it back up again.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah. So it's small, it's lightweight, it's very durable. And it's got the beauty dish ring on the inside, or you can take out the ring, but you can use it, or the plate, I should say, not the ring, but you can take out that plate, use it just like a single layer diffusion softbox, and it fits in a nice little bag.
That's what I'm trying to pull out my little bag here.
So I tell you, if you're looking for a gift for a photographer, friend, or family member, and you don't want to, spend as much money as a lens might cost you, or even a light. If you already have any Bowens mount light, grab one of these Joel Grimes beauty dishes, and
So tiny.
there below you'll see a link, right? Drop you to that.
We have a code though, because these aren't on sale. We have a code though that we can get you.
It'll save you some money. So definitely reach out to us, and we'll be happy to get you the code for that. Just shoot us a email, or just a message, and we'll be happy to get it. In fact, if you type into the comment section, just type in code, we'll direct mail code back. But
yeah. And I don't know about the Westcott's site, but we have some of our places that give us codes. You could stack them, so it's worth trying it. If they're on sale, try our code. To see
I would try it on the sale gear. I would try it.
Yes,
and just see if it might work.
It just might save.
It just might work, which I don't know why it's working, or could be working. It could be working.
So you got one more day to
one day of cyber sale. So if you want to save a few more dollars, make sure to type in code. But those are like our biggest takeaways when we've been asked, the things we get asked about all the time, every single workshop, at least 3 times a week. People are
what lens? What light?
What lens? What lens? What lens? What light? What light? What light? What modifier do I put on that light? Those are the 3 biggest things.
Yeah.
The other thing,
and I would have never. That's why you were so amazed. I would have never told somebody, "Oh, get a 24-inch softbox."
Yep.
And I don't. They're not all the same. That the shape of that box. It's like the 85. Just something with that Joel Grimes dish magic happens.
Yep.
That's why I think lately we've seen a lot of stuff from our friend Francisco that he's shooting a 24-inch box and he's getting those same results. Like it's. Don't think you got to go huge like I have thought. There is times that there's looks that are only going to be achievable with a giant softbox, or there's looks that are very similar that are more controllable with a large softbox in the right situations.
Yeah.
But for us, I'm shooting a senior portrait. If I can move from a 36-inch box to a 24, it's just that much easier to move to the park with.
Yeah. So one additional item that I think goes on our, using the same gear over and over list is actually not camera gear, but it's software, right? And so people might know, they might not know that I am a Lightroom dude. I love Lightroom. I use it for my editing. There's a few other tools that I use with Lightroom to enhance it. But I'm a Lightroom guy, and you're a Bridge, a Photoshop.
I don't even have Lightroom on my. I have it on my laptop for when I tether, but apart from that, I never shoot with Lightroom. Ever work with.
So you don't ever edit with Lightroom. So like that is an essential part of my workflow, and people ask me all the time, why do you use it? Why don't you use Capture One, On One? All these different things. We have a online webinar, workshop, whatever you want to call it, called Two Perspectives, coming up next Tuesday.
Yeah.
What is that date? That is the 21st? Next Tuesday, the 20th.
Next Tuesday, that'll be a live call. 16. You can be on, ask questions. You'll see your style of editing, my style, and not just our styles of editing. We're going to talk about our mindset of why we do things.
So that's called Two Perspectives. You can hit up our site.
It's
Facebook, you can sign up there. It's super low cost. It's $25. It's going to be well paced. You'll learn a ton of stuff. And it's, we're just talking about the 2 different perspectives that we have of why this works for us. And, you can glean something out of each side of it. There's going to be, I know for a fact, it's going to be close to a 50-50 split. 50% of the people are going to go, I never use Lightroom. I hate it. 50% of the people go, I never go into Photoshop. I don't want to use Bridge. I don't want to use multi-tools.
But on that other side, and I think it's even more than that. I think I'll bet you 80% of the people are using Lightroom. They're using it as well, Photoshop, but the way I use it, there's fewer and fewer people that are using it the way I'm using it.
Yeah, because they're wrong.
Bridge and Lightroom.
They're just wrong. They're
those of us that have been doing it for a long time, and
Are
it's
stuck in your ways.
hard to break our habits. And there's tools. There's no Photoshop user that goes, "Well, I need to open this up in Lightroom to do something." But every Lightroom user has to say, "I need to open this up in Photoshop to do it." So
Not
we just
so much
say,
anymore, but we'll
cut out the middleman.
we'll talk about it, and we'll go through, and we're going to do live edits of some pictures and show you the different perspective on why we edit the way we do, because we do it a little bit different.
I thought you were going somewhere different with this. I thought you were going to talk about Evoto when you said about editing.
Nope.
So
Was not going to.
that's a whole nother animal.
That's a whole other animal that takes another 30 minutes of conversation.
It's changed photography,
Yep.
and that's worth a whole time for us, you and I.
But I want people to come and understand the tools that are readily available that you're probably using now, and maybe you'll learn something that you didn't know it did, or learn a better workflow or a different workflow that can enhance your editing. No matter which perspective you choose to kind of go down the path of, my perspective or Mark's perspective, I think it's going to be, an hour to an hour and a half of really valuable time for you.
Yeah, because it really is not going to be my way, your way. It's going to just be, how do you approach things like, what do I do with the blacks in my,
Yep.
image? Like, do I crush them? Do I lift them? Those kinds of things. What do I do with the highlights?
Yep.
What do I do with the midtones?
It's going to be
What's the
super
thought
fun.
process.
Fast paced too, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be great. So looking forward to that on Tuesday. But hopefully this was a valuable conversation for you guys. And it's the kind of stuff that Mark and I banter about all the time.
Oh yeah.
Work together. But again, if today is the last day for that Westcott sale, but you can always use our code. Typing code in the comment section, that will get you the discount code.
We'll send it to you.
We'll send it to you. Yes, it won't automatically be applied, but we'll send it to you. But yeah, so
look
that's what
forward
we
to
got.
seeing all of your pictures shot with an 85 millimeter with a 400 watt second light of your choice. Hopefully it'll be a Westcott, but and grab one of those 24-inch. That Joel Grimes dish. I'm not kidding. It
Secret
truly
sauce.
is the part of the secret sauce these days.
Yep.
So perfect.
All right. Well, everybody have a great week, and we will see you next time.
All right.
Don't forget.
Don't forget. Yeah. Don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy. We'll see you.